Hello, hello, my crafty friends. Gotta get this fixed. I hope that you're doing good. And maybe, there we go. Ooh, totally not straight at all. Anyway, I got some new things in and I just thought that I would share, in particular the kits, and then I got really excited. I'm working on our class for next month too, and I'm excited about that. Let me see. Anyway, so let's do our kits first, and then we'll see if we have time to do a few other things. I did want to share a new hot foil, because I got a few here and there. Are we good? My PC keeps wanting to update, and I'm a little bit early just because I wanted to make sure I could find everything on time. I just have to admit that I am totally and completely height challenged. So I have to get up here looking at a new possible options. There we go, that's better. To do my videos from, just so that I can not have to stand up on top of stools in order to make sure that we're looking okay. Okay. So there will be some new foil released. I'm going to share. Got this die. I'm really completely excited about the die. And there's some additional foils that I'm psyched about. Copper. Here's that. I was going to show you, somebody was asking me last weekend when we did our Craftastic, what the difference between the silver was. So these are the 3 original colors. This is that opal, silver opal. So it's more like holographic. Yeah, you guys can see that pretty decently. Yeah. Okay. So let's give y'all a little bit of time to hop on here. If I get a chance. This is one of the things. It's not the best storage, and you can only put 3 in. I've seen some boxes where people have more in, but the box does help you contain it and be able to roll it out, and you can cut it with your trimmer and not have to have all sorts of other stuff hanging around. Let me see if I see where the box is at. I must have done something else. My marking pin for the next class. All right, so we're just going to get this show on the road. It's a different time, so we're kind of almost done with our rotating, unless we want to keep this. All right, shared. So, sunflowers. Who's our sunflower people who are excited about sunflowers? And then, of course, now that we're all into hot foiling, it's kind of like ink colors, right? Paper colors. You can't have enough colors. So I'm excited about having that. And I do want to share, I know I use chamois a lot, But a lot of times I forget to grab them, and then I'm over here trying to figure out what to do with a dirty stamp. And so they have this on Last Chance. It's their stamp cleaner, and it's actually really nice, the Stampin' Scrub. And I decided, maybe here, that just pick it up, because when I forget to, like I did today, if we stamp, then I can just grab my sprayer, which I've had the spray for a while, the stamp cleaner for a while, but you can just spritz it onto this. And like I said, it's on Last Chance. It's nice, it's big. I think that I'm going to really rinse the pads off. They've come out. Nope. I was thinking they might pull out of here, but they don't. But I'm going to rinse this off to get the loose fibers out of it before I use it. Hi, Bernice. Hi, Barbara. But it's nice. It's big. You spray one side to wash it off and this side to dry it off. And I thought, I'm going to just grab it while it's on Last Chance, because I used to have a couple of them from Close to My Heart, but they didn't, I can't find them from the move. Does not mean that they're not out in my trailer somewhere still, but can't find them. So we'll do with that. All right. So if you're into hot foiling, we're going to have 4 more colors. It's a lot of fun. Just so you guys can see, those are going to come out in September. So there's actually going to be a bunch of releases in September. It's kind of a little crazy. Has anybody got their catalog yet? Hi, Leslie. I think I might have actually sent you a catalog too, Leslie. Oh, Leslie, did you get the welcome box? I keep meaning to ask you if you got a welcome box or not. But anyway, let's see. I know that the hat requires a hot glue gun, so we're going to look at it first. Oops. I guess it helps if I open it right. You're not into hot foiling, Bernice? Or... I'm excited about this. So this is the hat, and I will be making this myself. So there's no... You did. Most excellent. I wasn't sure if you were going to get it because you've been a demonstrator before, so I'm thrilled that you got it. Excellent. All right. So this hat, no catalog. Okay. Well, sugar shoot darn. I'll have to kind of see where this goes. And we are going to do a time where we put this together with you guys, just because I'm stoked about it. I already have my hand towels. Jeff brought them home from Costco for me. Hand towels and a big welcome mat that's Halloween-y. So I do love some Halloween. But I wanted to show you because I don't feel like you see it and you don't realize how big it is. You got the we had a lot of fun with hot foil on Saturday. We got it out. We actually did a couple different things. I will show you what we played with, because I did, I know they're going to give us a plate in September to be able to make use of our other stuff, but I still did. All right, so this is a big hat. If I were, it will actually fit on my head. Not that that helps you at all to be able to see anything, but that's a big hat. So this is something, when you do it up, you could actually wear it. It's huge. I wasn't intending to wear it, but boy, you could certainly have some fun. And it's kind of velvety, and then it's got kind of a shiny rim to it to seal it. But I was thinking it would be fun to have it as like a center. And I have some Longenberger baskets that I have. They're Halloween baskets, and I think it'll be really fun to go with it because the colors are actually pretty similar that they used. And like the flowers, they're pretty big sized here. And you get the punch outs to do some decorating. Oh, the stars are very interesting. They're corrugate. I haven't seen corrugation in a while, and they're kind of a copper. Looking at the new copper, yeah, very copperish. Give out candy wearing it. You know, I have a Professor McGonagall hat, but I could wear this. Nothing wrong with changing a hat. You have 3 cards that are going to go on the hat. So you put them up there, and you're going to distress them, decorate them how you want to decorate them. Here's the spider web. And I'm trying to see. This is the piece that I'm pretty sure makes the, yeah, you fold it up and this is what makes sure. Isn't it so me? You're right, Connie, it is so me. So you're gonna use this to make your rosette, and then your 31 and your spider web go in the center of it. You have some cheesecloth and some ribbon, some hat pins. Please don't use them to hurt people. Sponge dauber. I love the fact that they're, ooh, an eyeball. An eyeball goes in the center of the flowers that you have over here. Oh, I'm so excited. You have copper wire, and they do tell you ahead of time that you need to have a hot glue gun, which I did not pull out, so this is why we're not going to do it right now. I'm going to guess pearl paint, copper pearl paint. Say that 10 times fast. So yes, I am totally excited to create this, and I hope that you'll join me for this that class. I'm not sure when we put it together how long it will take to put it together, but so this is available now, and you know, you could make it for your Halloween costume if you want. Of course, once you put it together, you won't be able to do this twisty thing that you can do to store it. Well, you can't do it now that I opened it, so I probably should not have taken the hat out, but I wanted you guys to see how big it was, because when Natalie put it on, I was like, oh, wow, that's huge. Because I was just thinking it was some little thing. It is not some little thing. Okay, so more of you guys are on. So I got in a little bit of my pre-order. A few things. I got in the new hot foils. I got in Christmas wishes. And I did get some answers on that piece of it for us. But I wanted to see what I did. I'm pretty sure I put the poinsettias. So in the event that you have one of the solid, you know, background, like I have the Swiss dots. I flipped the Swiss dots over, and I'm going to bet that because it's not solidly on the plate, because it's got the dots on it, it's got a pattern there, that it is going to transfer the hot foil differently when you're just using your excess. Anyway, Connie and I were playing with this this weekend. So taking a leftover, and this set, this poinsettia set is available. Taking the leftovers from whatever I foiled, I took the pretty poinsettia, which by the way is one of those stamp and emboss ones. So you put it on and you can, my brain will come back to me in a second. You can have that extra raised thing, and you have to use the little squishy mat, and you run it through the little squishy mat, and then you run it through and cut it. And when you do that, instead of it being flat, and you can, of course, you don't have to run it through the squishy mat, but you get some really good texture. And what I did is I took the Swiss dot plate, flipped it over so I was using the back side of it, and I ran some of the cherry cobbler paper, cherry, and it transferred leftover, you know, the leftover gold that I used on this. because I'm going to put gold centers in the poinsettias. And one set, the first time I heated it up, gave a really, really light. And I did this to the paper before I die cut it. And then I went and die cut it. And then the second time, I'd left the mat on. I'd left the Swiss dots on. And then so I left the Swiss dots on, and I just kind of let it sit there for a while and put the gold sheet on and then ran it through, and I got a heavier foil transfer. So the hotter or longer the plate stays on, the more you're going to get. Now they're going to release a completely solid plate, and I'm very curious to see the difference that you get if you use a plate that has a pattern on one side that heats up versus a solid plate. I'm going to be really curious about that. So there's poinsettias that shall be on a card kit this way. And there is also a class for the pretty poinsettia that Stampin' Up is teaching, and of course there's a group and a class in the videos that you can watch. I shall have to mix another, but I sprayed the paper, another good use for the stamping mist, because it is super duper fine. All right, so out of the hot foil play game that we did, let's check out this other kit. Now, I originally thought that this was cards until I was watching one of the home office people demonstrate it, and I realized, oh my gosh, and I'm kind of excited because I have another set of clipboards. So does everybody remember the clipboards? And I did that whole layout. There was one earlier. The clipboards, they're a set of 3 and they're sold separately. This is designed to work with the clipboard. So you can change out the clipboards and have some different home decorations. So when I got this, I was a little surprised because I did not realize that this was actually designed to be a decoration. Now, of course, convert it to cards, convert it to scrapbooking. You know, we all go nuts and do things our own way, right? Or maybe. So we have a couple of pieces of paper here. And well, that's kind of, when we have each other, we have everything. This would be a fun little wedding gift, actually. Home is a feeling, welcome. When we have each other, we have everything. And then you have the 2 extra ones, which of course you can use. Well, hi, Di-Di. You can use to decorate it with whatever. Did you make sure to have somebody bring your box in, Di? Because I know that box was really super heavy. Anyway, I'm expecting another order, so I'm hoping to have a bigger box to try and get the rest of the stuff that you got into it. So you have some really pretty green. That's the, I have too much stuff in front of me. Like Granny Apple. That's really pretty, and these flowers are really pretty. They have lines, 3-dimensional looking, just because they've added shading within the flower. This would be a really pretty accents on some scrapbooking pages. I think of these as being eucalyptus leaves. So they're cards. You create the home decor and you put it on the clipboard, or oh good, I'm glad Denise brought it in for you. She's got a strong back. She's good. You could also just simply get yourself some frames and put them into frames and hang them on the wall, which this one is really, really pretty. And I think because my house has some very bright colored walls, some yellow, and it has like a terracotta orange on some of it, that I may actually just put this in frames as opposed to using the clipboards. Somebody's home. My dogs are going nuts. So this goes onto this piece. I'll just put a few things together. Everybody's cards, everybody's kits. Has people gotten their kit class. I hope so. And no signs of catalogs yet, which is really sad. I really thought that those would be to you guys sooner than later. And what I would recommend you do is you pull this out. Oops, my rice. I put rice in a mug, and then you can put your tools in it and it holds it up. So when we have each other, home is a feeling. It goes on that, and then welcome. And I think this would be really pretty to have on a wall when people come into your house. I think this is a great, as I said earlier, wedding. Present. You didn't check the mail. Bernice had said no, that she hasn't seen it yet, so that's a probability of a no. And of course, you know, you did this, and it looks like the flowers layered together, so you're going to just do this. And I even think I have, like, the yellow looks more like that golden glow that they sent, like the honey color. And you just kind of punch these pieces out, and I would be like, okay, I know I need a blue one here. Need blue there. I could definitely look at the instructions, but where would be the fun in that, right? Looks like I need at least 2. And I probably will have to be like, oh, it's going to take more to put that flower together, or less to put that flower together. So just be prepared to find, you know, have to find some things. Oh, I'm putting flowers on the wrong one. Shoot. Let me slide this stuff onto that. So I was coming over to the welcome home here. And I need to have 2 of the blues and some of the yellows. Super cute. The new ink spots. Has everybody kind of heard about the new ink spots that are coming? You know, we have these little tiny ones, right? The little 1 inch by 1 inch squares. They are going to make them 1 inch by 1.5. And I believe they're still going to be felt, as I understand it. They will still be felt. So that is exciting for a lot of people. Actually, I might be more inclined to use them. I go to the ink pad because you generally need more ink, you know what I mean? My dogs are going ballistic, so if you hear them, I'm totally sorry. So that looks like I need a bunch on that one. And these flowers look like they're just 2 of them together. You know what I love is when my dogs come in here to tell on whoever is out there. Whether it's Sarah Grace or Jeff, they're like, they come to get me. I don't know if anybody else has dogs that do that, but they come and like, yeah, there's somebody out here. So you have a couple different languages. And these are pieces that I'm not completely sure where they go. But let's see what we can do here. These are the white centers to things. And some cute little flowers. So, see that? And then you've got a bunch of these little white flowers that are just going to be dashed here and put there, and that will be cute. Totally thrown by, I should have lined these up the way they are in here. So I stopped making confusing mistakes here. Anyway, I expect that I will get the new ink spots within the kits that they send us. So I didn't order any, although people are getting them, and I heard this and I thought, well, that's kind of an interesting idea, and actually not a bad idea for those of us that have a lot of the Stampin' Up or the Close to My Heart pads, and you didn't really want to invest in a whole nother set of pads, which I completely understand as well, is to buy the re-inkers for the Stampin' Up ink and turn around and use the 1.5 by 1 inch pads, because then you can have the other pads without actually, the other colors without actually having to invest in a big pad. So you guys will have to, anybody who's interested in doing that, is that what you're thinking, Connie, you'll do? I personally don't recommend anybody invest into the new colors now that we know that we're getting magnetic pads, and that those are to be launched sometime next year, and that they're probably going to do a touch-up on the ink colors, which is not uncommon. So I suggest that people, you know, be wise. But now I wish somebody was getting married. This would have been a fun gift. So there's 1, 2, 3 on that. So what has everybody's work week been like, or retirement week, in the case of our retirees who join us? Or let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one has 5, and then the other one has 5, and I have just the right amount for each page, so that's always nice when the numbers work out right. You know, Barbara, I am gonna absolutely agree with you that it's been an absolutely long week. And I have a long weekend. I have this is my last leadership weekend. And Friday night is my next to last. You know what? I think that this big flower goes on this page. So yep, big push last week. And I do have 1 signed up and 1 possible addition for 2 places to do my Paper Hugs project, so I'm excited about that. That is a different one. Maybe that one, which means you guys go over here. With these bright colors remind me very much of Guam. I'm not entirely sure. So here, this has to have some pink flower. There's 2 pink flowers for that. So maybe an extra pink flower. So like I said, you'll work on this, you punch it all out, and then you add things where they go. Oh, excellent. I'm so excited you're going to donate cards to my project. You know what, actually, I need to follow up, because I found out I have to get a background check. And I just realized now that you said that, I haven't seen the paperwork for my background check and volunteer thing. So if I'm going to make this happen, I need to follow up on that and find out where my background check is. Hawaii flowers, right? Guam has very similar. I remember when I first started first living in Guam, I was so in love with all of the flowers. They're just amazing, you guys. So pretty. And you just couldn't get enough of them. All right, so let's see how easy or hard this is to put together. Looky here. I grabbed the right one. I may or may not have the right flowers, but you can see you can set that up. I already put this on. And of course, they're sweet. They give you all the dots and everything else. You know, this could be in a bedroom. This could be in the doorway, you know, when you come home. Home is a feeling. So you're gonna 3D foam dot this. Not a lot of 3D foaming because my guess is that the flowers are so dimensional with the way you put them together. We just had some neighbors, it's so funny, get married. They knew each other when they were married to their previous spouses and ended up being a widow and a widower, and then they ran into each other, you know, just out and about, and they got married. They went to Hawaii and tied the knots. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's like amazing to be, you know, in your 60s, 70s, and she's traveling the world, and they're traveling the world, and they're just living their best life. And somehow, you know, one, Russ is our neighbor, but his now wife, Anne Marie, was connected to the neighborhood some other way. This is not what you should be doing, guys. You should have a craft mat or a silicone mat down here to glue on so that you don't get this on here. So it's a really cute little story. So some of this kind of is not down on the bottom. Some of this is actually not tucked under because your flowers are going to be there. So pay attention to not tucking, and I didn't tuck on that other piece, the leaves, but there we go. So I think that this, again, like I said, Leslie, you could make this for your darling when she gets her place, builds her new house. I have watched Leslie's daughter grow up via scrapbooking pictures and a few other things. Now this one crosses over the top. But I don't ever think I've met Elizabeth, because Elizabeth never came to any of the Canadian crops, did she? So because that's raised, I'm going to grab my little dots and add a little effort here to this. Okay, well, hopefully I will have something to color that under. We are now back to got the truck fixed, got Sarah Grace back on the road. We are no longer driving no longer a one car family with 3 drivers. And she starts school next week. She came to 1. So I probably have got to meet her when she was littler. Now she's all grown up, has her own classroom and all sorts of fun stuff. Okay. So one of my tricks with doing flowers is I like to puff them up, if you will, before I put them together. Oh my gosh, my dogs are just going nuts out there. Well, I guess they're good watchdogs, right guys? Good watchdogs. It needs 2 yellows. And I definitely did not catch that when I was looking at this. So you're going to put 1 yellow down like this, and then you're going to take another yellow and turn it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh my heavens. And you have a pretty little flower to add. So Sarah Grace is home, and one of the things she likes to do to the dogs is torture the dogs and make them howl. So, if you hear the dogs howling, it is because she's torturing them. Now this is kind of sad to cover up that piece, the center piece of it, but you do get to see the little dots, some of the little dots, so that's good. It's not totally covered up. Oops. So you guys can see that this is pretty easy to go together. It's it says I should have a yellow dot, but I don't remember seeing any yellow, so I'm not going to finish this up. And it has 2 little blue ones. Offset here just a little bit. But Sarah Grace's school starts. When does West Virginia school and Maryland school start? There we go. So that, I'm going to lightly tack that into this because I don't know where the yellow piece right there is. So we'll find it though, right? And so this, you know, we're going to have some nice dimension on things. I wouldn't glue anything down until you are 100% sure how you want to, because you might be like, I don't like the way Stampin' Up did it. So anybody have plans? She went back on Tuesday. Kids start back next Tuesday. Oh, I'm sure the teachers are back now that you say that, because if the kids are coming back on Wednesday, I am sure that they've got the teachers back. I can't imagine they wouldn't, because they have to do whatever training that they need to do. So this is fun. And then you're going to bring this over and just figure out, I want this here, I want that there. And guys, I'm going to end up 3D foam taping a lot of this because it crosses over that white piece of paper. So the flowers for me are going to get 3D foam taped. We have this one going over, so there's going to be a portion of that that's not going to be under. This goes together, as you can see, relatively smoothly since we did the hat, the first part of the game. And this is tucked under this, so I want to make sure I have my flatter leaves under this, and this one might actually go right on the paper, yeah, because it's the base of it is on this flower, and the petals are bent up so that they'll go underneath there. Look at home is too covered up for me, so let's rotate that just a little bit. There. So that's one, and like I said, you can put it on the clipboard. Thank you, Di. Or you could put it into a frame. It's 5 1/4 by 7. That's interesting. Yeah, 5 1/4 by 7. So kind of have to play around with finding a frame that'll work. Right, it's really pretty. So if you want it to fit into a 5x7 frame, you might want to trim off that quarter inch. Just, you know, to cut this off and that and just kind of scoot things a little bit over to the side. But yes, super pretty. These will be great on a scrapbook page or a card if you would like to not have a home decor item but still have a piece of this. And then there's these little flowers that just get kind of added here, there, and everywhere, but I want to kind of poke them up. So stay tuned. Hopefully my other shipment will get here. I don't know why my shipment split, but come see the end parts of that, and I will see you guys next week. Enjoy your weekend. Like I said, I have a long weekend, but I'm hoping to get our kit. Oh, I should show you what the kit's gonna look like. Our class for next month is so pretty. Here, ready for a little bit of fall. These leaves go with the punch, and they're already released, and so the what's going to be used in September you can get now, as far as the stamps and the leaf punch. You don't have to, of course, punch it out, but I think you're going to want to, because we're going to use that on paper. The stamp set is Simply Leaves Bundle 168165. I'll get this posted up, but yeah, I'm excited about this, and don't forget about our class for this month too, because that's pretty already done, and I'm actually working on, it's that Lazy Easel class, and it features very summery colors, which if you guys remember, I actually love this. It's the Beautiful Ordinary Life paper, and you're going to get the washi tape with this kit, and then you can hand cut them out or get the dies, stamps and dies that go with it. Nice, bright, so pretty. So that's the class for this month, and I am getting those ready to go out, because I can see what people have bought, and since the kits are ready, get them out of my way. So I will see you guys on Monday, and hopefully we'll see what shows up and what we get done, or if we go back to hot foiling, right? Yay for hot foil. All right, love you guys, and I'll see you in a little bit.